It touches my heart as if she just told me that today. And out of my mouth, I said, well, what if I can bring a shower to you? Why did I say that? I have no idea. Right now today, I still don't understand why I asked that question. And so we were invited to the health neighborhoods. We went and they were talking about, how can we get the homeless community to come to our agencies to get these services that we have for them. We want to build capacity. And we were there, we were new, we really didn't know anybody, so we raised our hand and we said, we have a vision of having mobile showers. We want to have a program that we can take showers to them, and maybe if we clean them up, maybe if we give their dignity back, maybe they'll be more open to come and get the services that you have. And at that meeting, it was so received. It was so received. And the next meeting they invited us to present about our vision. At that meeting, which was the SAC meeting, we heard that there were someone in Washington that wanted to donate 2 mobile shower units to our ministry.
And it was born. This part, it was a journey all in itself. The gentleman was from Washington. The shower units were in Salt Lake, Utah. And we had to go get them. We have no budget. We have no funding. We have no truck. I spoke to the gentleman on the phone, and like she said before, I said, okay, we'll come get them. And I hung up the phone and thought, oh God. I just told him, this is November. And I told him we were gonna come get it in November. Before the snow season, he said we had to be there. So that was an interesting journey. We'll save the rest of that story for another time, but we got them, they're here, they're functioning, they're operational, they're being used by the homeless.
Have heard of the Innovations 2 grant. At the Health Neighborhoods meeting, we came into the knowledge of this grant, and out of that meeting, they put that idea on the table, and we actually got approved for the Innovations 2 grant to have a whole mobile outreach team. And so we're really excited. This is just a few of our collaborators that came out of the health neighborhoods, and everything that is going to serve the homeless is going to be on wheels. Just to name a few: mobile showers, mobile medical, mobile dental, mobile mental health. Everything is going to be on wheels. We are so excited. We call the project I Do, Integrated Desert Outreach. So it's a homeless mobile outreach service that is going to, we've given it a date maybe somewhere in the summer, that is going to be taking off, coming soon to the Antelope Valley. So we're excited about that. We are excited every time we think about just one meeting that we shared our vision by faith, that it came into reality.
So,
where
we are currently, we partnered with the Salvation Army this past winter, and together the Antelope Valley Winter Shelter was opened at the former High Desert, I believe it was, facility on 60th Street West and Avenue High up there. We had 100 beds, of which stayed full for the entire winter. And it was a wonderful, wonderful partnership that that got together in November.
So like Mark said, in November 2017, so Love on Purpose is partnered with Salvation Army. We sat down. Our only one homeless shelter in Lancaster was closed last year in August. And the Salvation Army contacted us regarding the mobile showers. And we were kind of having them on hold, waiting on funding, because even though we have the units, we know it takes money to run them. And so we were trying to be very cautious and very careful of how we were going to put them out there. We were coming up with ideas and trying to raise money. And when the shelter closed, it was kind of like a no-brainer for us. This was something that God had given us, and we promised God that we were going to use them for our community. So it's kind of like a no-brainer. The shelter closed, we got to get the showers out, because we wanted the homeless neighbors to know that they were not alone, that they still had purpose, that God still have a plan for their lives, and that our community cares about them. So one of our units is at the shelter, and we thought we were going to run the shelter only through the winter. So it was a winter emergency shelter that opened in November, and it was going to run to the end of March. But we got word that the shelter is they're extending the shelter. Amen. And so we're excited about, just stepping out of the boat, stepping out in faith, all of the things that God is allowing us to do, all of the lives that He is allowing us to touch and reach. And while the shelter has been open since November, at least 75 of our homeless neighbors have been housed, whether it was bridge housing or permanent housing. Some of them have received employment. Some of them have been reunited with family members. So we're not just providing the showers, but we're providing shelter. We're providing 3 meals a day, laundry service, transportation, job opportunities. We have every class that you could think of, nutrition classes. We have job skill classes. We have nutrition, beauty. We have a beauty salon that opened, yoga classes. So we're just letting them know that, God has a plan and a purpose for their lives, and we're just excited that God chose us and that we answered His call.
We even have healthy cooking, of which I could partake of myself, teachings for the homeless. And at one point we were asked, why are you teaching the homeless how to cook healthy? Where are they going to cook at? And the response was, we're instilling hope that they're not always going to be in the condition that they're in right now. So we're putting that thing in their minds that your life can be different, and you don't have to stay where you are if you choose not to be. So, I have a treat for you all, and I say that because I get treated with it all the time. My wife has a spoken word that she wants to close with for all of you, and I pray you enjoy it and receive it the way it's given.
So when we started on this journey, we asked ourselves, could it be, like looking at every older woman, I would look at her as if she was my mother, or she could be my sister, she could be my aunt. And even though she's not my mother or my sister or my aunt, that's somebody's mother, that's somebody's sister, that's somebody's aunt, that's somebody's grandmother. And so we asked ourselves, if that was, how would I want that person to be treated? So I want to ask you that same question. Could it be your mother, your father, your sister, or your brother? She has a different face. She has a different skin color. She hears voices. She cannot sleep. She goes into your clinics week after week. She sleeps outside, under a bridge. She has nowhere else to go, so they took her kids. Now she feels like she has no one else to love her. Could it be that she is your mother? Long is her journey, and hard is her fight. Will the pills that you prescribe her make her right? She has no place to go. She walks the streets at night with no shoes on her feet. Now she has blisters. Could it be that she is your sister? You see, he has served his country. He survived the war, but he could not find a job. So he ended up behind bars. When he got out, he had no place to go. Now he's living on Skid Row. He hides behind the alcohol, but he wants to help himself. So he went to the VA, and they sent him to mental health. He has a family, a son and a daughter. Could it be that he is your father? He has journeyed a different road. He has a different story to tell. He didn't know that he was bipolar, and he got thrown in jail. He went in and served his time, but when he got out, no family could he find. Now he's living on a park bench, using a cardboard box as his cover. Could it be that he is your brother? Some of them are so angry, they cannot control their tears. Some of them don't know how to face their fears. They hear voices, and to ease their pain, they take drugs. We go out and serve them to give them hope and to share God's love. These are just some of the stories that we have heard about those who live on the streets. These are their words. See, those of us who have shelter and have clean clothes to get dressed, we must know that we are so blessed. See, we have jobs to do. We all have communities to serve. So let's continue to serve with excellence, because remember, it could be you, your mother, or your father, your daughter, or your son. And may the services that we render, may they always, always be rooted in love. God bless you.
We've really come this far by faith. Thank you all. We pray that your faith journey is blessed. Thanks for having us.